yebe o sogo. Ula nyoma deka wajile buwe balua yiwe. Moke mashoda na swagwa yile abena yo seba sogo. Amo pe gocha o. Chaga Zulu, Moawea, l'enfant Freddy, Mondé.
Gocha, abere yoge, aswa brojira, yebe
diable yo abele yo ge aso grandira diable merci me ni abele yo abele yo ge aso grandira ni bre do tie ni bele yo abele yo ge aso grandira diable chi yo to ba ni bele yo abele yo sege soko aso grandira ano aso grandira sura anyewe amogbe gocha o abele yoge aso grandira amogbe gocha o abele yoge aso grandira abele yoge aso grandira abele yoge aso grandira Chiawa Erepo Sisio Keme Ewalimboe Ferro Clark Moable Abendei Oshaka Jena Etocho Asemo Wema So Amo Bego Chao Abele Yoge Aso Grandira Amo Bego Chao Abele Yoge Aso Grandira C'est mon audi Yeah mon nom c'est mon audi la oye Mouye roule mama Ewali audi la Yebe o sogo Una nyoma dega Wajile buwe balua Iwe Monte mashada na swag Wajile abena yo seba sogo Amo pe gocha o Ah Chaga Zulu Moawea L'enfant Freddy Mondé Alwa kwa ajile we Alwa kwa ajile Wela alwa kwa swag Wajile ajile we Soubeno swag Wajile abene Moye rubo bia swag Wajile abene yo okay Amo pe gocha o abele yoge Aso grandira Maluwa o yebe Ile nyama tulo e maluwa o yebe o yebi Mobe soro game la so dira yewe soko Iye iro de lo se nyonya o dio Amo pe gocha o abele yoge Aso grandira Amo pe gocha o abele yoge Aso grandira Amo pe gocha o abele yoge Aso grandira Ne motkele la sou Nyo atia lui able a Yahweh Natano kwai Joseph kwai Oto baike Yala eto cho Lukuso Oshaka Jena Moawea Nikanyo senyo kuso Dia waya o Daya o Sheri Seno kwa kwa wewe Daya o Mama Moja gege Josephine ya o Dila Yebe Meseli swag Wajile ya Benai Jemne nunde mama ni bende yo abele yoge Aso grandira Yabne majwa tote ni abele yo abele yoge Aso grandira Yabne iwo tote ni abele yo abele yoge Aso grandira Otalo zete luwa wemo abele yoge Aso grandira Moje dore siate senyonye aodi go keep you do. Fire, couple way go do go boy yeah. Para grela. My makeup do go boy yeah. Para grela. Wait, I don't para grela. So are you para grela. I don't para grela. Never yawa para grela. My way come way but not son of Casaya Capotu para grela. Cardiaga Moruso. I don't para grela. Para grela, para grela, para grela, para grela, para grela, para grela. So Cambrevo como una bounce cuando tú vas. Tengo boy canga. Baila un poco a un papá. Se ya no te atiga. Grana ka konsu ya no te atiga. Grana na boka we. Bande boda di ye ya yiko. Tona ka wewe pa mo kwana watangwa. Kiwa kanu aluya. Kiwa kanu aluya. Para grela, para grela, para grela. Para do na para grela. Para grela. Para do ne mai so ga yenza do. Ye kwata do ne mai so ga yenza do. E pura ka we kamera. Reno go no sa sa ka done. Saso ya wo ka no ko na saso para grela. Aya na no dua. Abayimu. Para grela. I want the baby go. Para grela. Para grela. Emma we gaba when you want para grela. Ale dona para grela. So why yeah gaba we go you want para grela. Gaba when you gaba we go ale dona para grela. Para grela. Gaba me grela so me go nyaso. Gaba we ya grela so me go nyaso. E baka baka. So no wa me wo go grela wo go tuwa. So no wa me wo go grela wo go. Na ya bo me wa go tu wo go na. Walo piege kaba wengwe piege walo basa bezo sane me kwiso kweno kanu kwasa kwene kwaso kaba yimo kaba wengwe ayo walo kwela mama lelie we wonta ga metrato lelie zo lelie we uzo amba bina wai mama manda uzo let's go Megi way Kwamu way Mama way Ayiwa kama wenga Kaya kama wengwe Mama mere no waka pane walo Tito paro
Let me welcome all of you guys to the magnificent Nabraka Talk Show. Here we discuss the truth, nothing else but the truth. I have laid my hand on the factual information. As I promised the Liberian people that I will always bring you the truth, nothing else but the truth. You know, the whole thing about Prince Johnson, that some of our countrymen, some of our citizens, have taken it and be able to run with it. Now that I have laid my hand on a record clip, which of course I will be able to show all of my followers here tonight, I see why Prince Johnson, as a certain president, you are not to make such a statement. As a certain president, you are not to make such a statement. Prince Johnson was in his early 30s. That can cause any provocation for anyone to be able to jump into Buto and complain. As a certain president, after the coup has messed you want to deal with the coup plotters. You want to deal with the co-plotters, but you are not to deal with the entire country. That statement that our late president made, it was not necessary. I see why the general, Prince Johnson, have to defend the people. If even it was me, I would defend my country. If even it was me, I would defend my country. What are you talking about? What are you talking here? You know the mentality of Prince Johnson at the time? They called the guy scorpion. You know the mentality of that young man at the time? None of you guys know the guy mentality. The guy was just entering his early 30. And then you telling me that the man was not. Also, the man was to sit down for the president to come as the one they work, the one they carry out the first massacre in Nimba. So you wanted for the men to sit down, that they come to massacre the entire Nimba country. That's why some of you guys wanted. I will bring you the clip of General Thomas Kwankma. After this guy have captured the country for certain hours. And I will be bringing you the Master Sergeant Samuel Doe voice. After he has escaped from that coup. And then I will be able to bring you someone. I will be able to bring you General Kofi Za. And you know, some of you guys does not have brain. I'm sorry to say. You think Prince Johnson, all those that touch the late president, none of them were living until the war came to an end. None of these guys were living when the war came to an end. None of them were living when the war came to an end. It is now about mistake. I repeat, all these Ghanaians that ever touched Samido, none of them live to be able to see the next day. I will be bringing the voice of Prince Johnson's testimony at the time. I will be bringing you the voice of Prince Johnson himself. I will be bringing the voice of General Kofi Za. He was a general. I'll be bringing his voice. I'll be bringing you the voice of former president, the late president Samuel Kanyado. Then you all can be able to judge. You all can be able to judge what made Prince Johnson to be able to get into Buto and Kample.
Stand by for urgent broadcast. Fellow citizens, this is General Thomas Kwankma. The patriotic forces under my command have seized power. Our forces have completely surrounded the city. Samido is in hiding. There is no escape for him. I call on the men and women of the armed forces, the police force, and the security agencies to join with us in the liberation of our people from fear, brutality, and blood tyranny. I call on the students, the workers, and all patriotic citizens to stand with us as we do battle against the forces of injustice and corruption. We hear your cries and pleas, fellow citizens, and as sons of our people, we decided to take the ultimate gamble in the task of national liberation. You shall have free and fair elections and a democratic society. You shall regain your self-respect and human dignity. which has been abused by Samedo. As of the movement, all security forces at our borders are to ensure that our borders are closed. Our international airport is closed also until further notice. A dusk-to-dawn curfew is imposed as of today. Effective immediately, the following appointments have been made in the armed forces of Liberia. Chief of Staff J. Maxwell Weah, Commanding General Jita G. Bia, Deputy Commanding General Henry Y. Jack, EMG Battalion Cooper J. Sear, 1st Battalion William Jala, 2nd Battalion John Wizwa, 5th Battalion Julius Kesley, 5th Battalion Lawrence 12, 6th Battalion Joseph B. Sharp, FOP Anthony Kansler, BASU Alfred Brent, all reconnaissance units, Alfred Weeks, faithful to the patriotic forces. God bless you.
That was the voice of Thomas Swanton. That was his voice. What he say? What he said? I don't know whether some of you guys capture what he said. He overthrew because of massive corruptions. Was it force? Was it force after Doe have taken power? In few months, Doe was one of the richest presidents in the Sub-Sahara. Was it force? That the military was overpowered by only one set of troops. Was it force? They may have to demote Thomas Kwankwa to a brigadier secretary. Was it force? And how Thomas Kwankwa left. He came to America. Sometimes it is better for some of you guys to be able to find out. It is better for some time for you to be able to seek information before you talk. Now let me play you Samido voice.
My fellow Liberians, foreign friends within and outside our borders, greetings. This morning at around 6:15 a.m., our national radio station ERBS announced through the purported voice of former Commanding General Tomo G. Kwangba that there had been a coup by so-called patriotic force under his command. Fellow Liberians, I take this opportunity to inform the nation that the coup has failed. I am still the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia and Head of State. I call on all Liberian men and women of the armed forces, the police, and the security forces to stand firm and continue to remain loyal to the government. Do not permit this rebel, those dissident forces to intimidate you or influence you. I also call upon those rebel soldiers and their supporters to lay down their arms immediately, because we are in complete control of the situation. All those officers of the armed forces and paramilitary bodies who hold commissions from my government are still in complete charge of their various units. In order to continue to consolidate the situation and map up the remaining scattered rebels, a dusk to dawn curfew is hereby imposed. Mr. Kwangban and his chief lieutenants are being sought to be put under immediate detention. I call on all citizens, foreigners, and foreign nations near our capital not to harbor any of these dissidents. For doing so, we invite the full force of the law. All borders, including the Rawa International Airport, are to remain closed. May God Almighty bless you and save the nation. Thank you.
Now, that was a statement after the coup have failed. To be able to give the people hope. That was his statement. But I was thinking that the mayor would be able to deal with Thomas Kwankwa instead of him dealing with the entire county. That where come my own problem with Samido. Because if you say that you are a peaceful man and coup have failed, and you say that the law will take a course, is the law taking a course by you going to massacre people from Nimba? Is that the law taking a course for you to go to slaughter people from Nimba? Is that the law taking a course? But let me play another clip here.
And those who is considered to be innocent in Nimba at this particular time, I'm appealing to them to leave Nimba immediately, or else their relatives, their children would never be seen again.
When I first came to Liberia in 19...
Look at that kind of statement. That kind of statement coming from a certain president. Let us agree, Thomas Kwankwa, the coup has failed. You have Thomas Kwankwa on arrest. Still, you are not satisfied. Still, Samido was not satisfied. He have to publicly make such a stupid statement, because I classify that statement to be stupid. Although he was the president at the time, but that statement was completely out of order. What is the need for you to be able to say all those that classify themselves to be innocent, let them leave Nimba now, or else their children will never be seen again? Was he referring to our comrade? Was he referring to Prince C. Johnson? Were you referring to Prince Y. Johnson? Or who were you referring to? You see, sometimes I get out those factual informations for me to be able to bring it to my Liberian people. What are you Crown? What are you Grebo? What are you Pelel? What are you Gizio? That does not concern me. What concerns me is for me to come here to be able to tell you the truth. That all concerns me. For me to be able to come here and be able to elaborate on the truth. What the president did at the time was completely out of order. You don't make such a threatening statement against the entire county. We understand that Thomas Kwankwa, he came from Nimba. Yes, we understand that. So because that the man came from Nimba, so you will say all the Nimbalians will start to carry on massacre in Nimba? Let us listen to one guy they call General Kofi Zah.
Ask them, man, what are you, Christian?
I, Paul Kofi Zah,
Do solemnly swear
do we need you. The High John MPFL. So I will Prince Johnson now. I will Prince Johnson, we went, we came, catch our Dwala, We move. If somebody tell you say the Prince Johnson come with any kind of heavy weapon, the 106, 50 caliber, then he using, the lying. Prince Johnson entered this country with so light weapon. The only heavy weapon they were having is the weapon that they captured from us, from Banga era then, that was 60 and 10 then. But the 100 caliber that Prince Johnson was using was captured by Prince Johnson to the port. The 100 caliber was in Freeport. So, how soon they call formation of Prince Johnson saying he wanted the port? The house on attack went for 160 men. When we jump and enter, some people take it from Douala way there. They get some road from Douala, enter in the port. Then they get some rail from free zone there, enter in there. People enter from Canamfe way. When the whole troop jump over, when we got in our fence, they were not easy fighting there. So you never fight, they jump over the 100 caliber, the operator run their way, and we capture the 100 caliber from there. The whole Freeport was captured. The Prince Johnson captured Freeport. Hard song. So from there, we started holding the 4 warehouse that they put our Firestone warehouse, because our warehouse that was having enough rest. So all the trader and the old things, and they put the car then together. We start holding everything on base. He took our way to be a base. Going to create the Addison Yard, they get some kind of area there, they call it the Taylor compound. Yes, that where we hold our Prince Johnson house he was living in. We hold all the things, that whole causeway there. All the horses are there. That warehouse number 1, warehouse number 2, all the things there, we store everything from there, we carry it to causeway, we put it there. Motor car and trader and whatsoever. But the law of the people, that if you don't come with them from all the way Butuo, they don't have respect for you. So in the evening they will finish sharing before they saw you that surrounded before they gave your food. But luckily I was having one mayor with them who is saying go. So everything for me it were easy. A young one say calling from the police barrier. That guy they call one say they call him Papi. I they want to put him in the army. He was with Prince Johnson also. That's how we took over Corway. We start fighting. Larry Borden and Prince Johnson get together. Now he was middleman between Togo and Prince Johnson. If you know one, Larry Borden, who Prince Johnson killed. I was there when they killed Larry Borden. Larry Borden used to, because Prince Johnson loved him so much, so they gave him the freedom. But why he used to doing Tankana, he never can know so again. He just used to take her whatsoever to send for to the mansion. Larry Borden would just load his car and carry it. That they feel oil and castle, the food and thing, and what they were suffering for now, Larry just used to carry it. So to one day, somebody called Prince Johnson and said, Nana, as I speaking, Larry Borden will do. So Prince said, you sure? He said, yeah. He said, okay, you let go in the town. Because all the way making street, all that area then now, Benson Street, all were honor Prince Johnson. While we were going, we put out with Larry Borden, right before Staunton Creek, before he came to call we preach there. He said, where you coming from? Before the man could talk, he just busted man, he right there. He fall down. From there, we moved to Hotel Africa. They say one flat plate there can communicate with Prince Johnson, with Togo. He said, you go for a flat plate. We went for Fred G. Blade. One papi with B. When we went, the papi was having 2 sets. I think he was Minister of Commerce, something like that. 2 sets. While we reached there, I think he just got through talking with two. Right away, we paused the toy you were in, the radio were in your hand. I had to grab him. They brought him. They didn't even let the man to talk, they killed him. So, that was about Prince Johnson. So I'm setting down here the history of the war that TRC want to know. I started a war and I ended. There's a general then that started a war, they never ended. They will not give you the whole detail. It was good for you to send for me, but the only fearful thing that they say you were taking me to court. So most of my family now wanted for me to come. So, but I want to come to let you all to know that the war I started from 1990 And I end it. That what make me to come. So from there, they down now. One next, it was very hard. They say Joseph Mobon. That time he was the president for Sierra Leone. He called Prince Johnson that he want 150 men from Prince Johnson. So Prince Johnson went to work and pulled the 150 men together that he would train there and send them to Sierra Leone to go here and Momon. So while they were training, when he had strikeful, Prince Johnson, he had strikeful on his base. I was one of the strikeful. But to go on that training was not something easy. We were 150, but because we could finish with the training, we were 90 left. Because to put back or sand on your back, then you cross Simple, it was not something easy. And then they dig a 4-hole, they put you in a 4-hole, and then Prince Johnson will open the grenade and put it there. So catch the grenade and shove it somewhere in that 4-hole for it to not blast. That was one of the things that carry most of the men. Then to run from the jet bomber, when the bomber they blasting for you to run, the men will start his tactical jeep and they will put it behind you in that line, and you must run to pass that jeep. Who can run past motor car? Now don't go no part of the road, you just got to be on that road. You will not move from here over there, and the man finish walking over you. That will carry most of our soil, but always some of us, we suffer inside. So from there, after we finished training, I don't know what happened, what not happened again. He have a call. He said, but gentlemen, he said, yeah. He said, Toh want to see me. But the people hungry now. But what we do, you gotta carry some food for them. That way Prince Johnson brought 500 bag of rice. They were having some chicken in cartoon in a long cup. 250 cartoon of that chicken. Some aku oil on the trader. With 150 men to escort the trader with Prince Johnson into the barrel. When we got to the barrel, they opened the gate, the whole troop enter with their food, everything. When we went, we met Doe. Prince Johnson gave a quarter say. He said, Prince, what's wrong with you? If I know that you are fighting me, ever since you not come to me. But I don't think you must fight me again. That you and myself put together and catch Taylor. Taylor who stole the Liberian people money that go and organize a war to come on us. You are not catch Taylor. So Prince Johnson said, but are you the one? I must say I wanted to see, but how to get to you a while hard. Right there, he picked up one rand from his own soldier face, make Prince Johnson a brigadier general straight on his face. That how Prince Johnson get a brigadier general rank. From there, he supplied all the BA that came in the country here. It was not Liberia gone, that Babakida they won't send no gun. Trudeau, that old gun and some M16, he issued Prince Johnson with King. After that, the 4 air command troop that entered here, the commander of 4 Lieutenant Kwenu. Anybody can remember? Kwenu. Then we were having one BBC reporter. They called the woman Lisbeth Bronson. Yes. That woman never lead, never run away. Everywhere we used to fight, that woman used to go between us. So from there, he and Toh, they sat down, they planned how for us to attack Taylor, and then that time now we used to go and talk with AFLs on AFL gardens. So now we take food from on base, we go and give it to them. Some of them get some attend, they give it to us, we carry on base. We're too friendly now. So one Sunday, we went to Art and Clean Day, we and Prince Johnson. When we got to Art and Clean Day, while we were in Art and Clean Day, Prince Johnson have a call that Toh is leading, escaping to go. But he must come quick, he had a boat. Right away, he sent on base a 50-man John. We who were the barricade behind him, straight we moved to the pole. Before we could get to the pole, we met the whole of government forces were there with the way to. To and Connie were austere. We meet one WO on the ground there with General Gray there with some guys there. While one thing to another, fire open there. While they were firing one, somebody threw ran austere. Before we could go there, and we got there now, when we have left to in the room, and soon as we got there, he take his finger that day. That's how we posted to when we enter where to over air. Nobody couldn't see to over on the table. That don't Prince Johnson fire to. When they saw that one boy who fired to, when we went, we met a big crib on the table. So everybody were after that crib. He started fighting over the crib. The house so that one went, lay for the table, he saw to, he said, come on. He said, yeah, man, yeah. Before to one say, your man came in the pot, just fire him. They say to over having gone through, but that AK they won't break to there. He sat down straight. The high Prince Johnson then came. Then he said, where you are running away for? Where you going? You finish telling me that you and myself are trying together, then you running their way. He said, to, but I wonder, to can speak you more than crown. He and Prince Johnson start rinking a Q. They start rinking it. They start rinking it. They start rinking it. From there, if somebody tell you that Prince Johnson the one called to here, well, it was Peter John Yomi, who was the police director, called to here. Prince Johnson was just asking him, where is the Liberia people money? Even when he's scraping naked, they found one horn with one sharp nerve in his body. Say, where the people money? From there, they waste some water on his head to couldn't talk anything again because he was bleeding too much. From there, they say you are putting him in the bathroom. Prince Johnson locking up in the bathroom. From there, we all went back on assignment. From the assignment, before in the morning we would come that whole body we saw. They took the whole body to Allen Clinic. It was there for 2 weeks in Allen Clinic. Now, when charted men and yeah, that they are killed over the body were in Allen Clinic, they want to attack from Pommy Hill way to go and carry the body up. The Prince Johnson sent his troop to go and carry the body from there. When they brought his body, they buried him right beyond right beyond the market there, that where they buried to. So never carry no casket. So from there, the aircraft troop that enter Liberia now, they start deploying in all the various areas where the fighting forces and where they start deploying there. They start deploying there. So we all now, they start deploying. Everybody, nobody couldn't go to the war front.
That was one of the explicit statements. Very, very clean. That statement from General Zah, that statement was very, very clean. The man was there. That man, he was part of AFL, and then later on he joined NPFL. He saw some of the things that Doe was doing, and he saw majority of the things that Prince Johnson did. And there's people here crying, hey, they may kill the president, they may kill the president, they may kill the president. You listen to General Zah's statement. The same thing that General Thomas Kwankwa, the same thing that General Thomas G. Kwankwa were excusing him of, wanted to overthrow him off. That's the same thing that General Prince Johnson, Brigadier General Prince Johnson was asking him. Why the people money? Why the Liberian people money? And then some of you guys will come here to Debbie making flashy statements. Some of you guys does not even say read. You don't even say listen to audio. You don't even say listen to video. You just get out to talk because you get mouth to talk. Now I play you the clip. Now you go and go spread the news. You go now and go and spread the news. Go and spread the good news. You go now and go spread the good news. That Prince Johnson, what he did, it could be me, I will do the same thing. It could be me at that age, I will do the same thing. What Brigadier General Prince Johnson did at the time, it could be me, I will do the same thing. I'm not saying other people, I said if that was me at the time, I would do the same thing. Let us try to be peaceful as we can be. All right, the man, saying yesterday that the man killed. Under the man washed out as the man killed. The man forget about it. The man went to Nigeria. The man called the late president's son and his mom. Sometimes my Liberian people, sometimes they can really make me feel some kind of way. But anyway.
Commissioners of the TRC, distinguished Liberians gather here, commissioners, paramount chiefs, elders who arrived early this morning from Nimba County, former commandos of the Special Forces of the IMPFL now disbanded, to the great forces of Alert and Model, without whom democracy will not prevail today. I end up being for these great forces fighting dictatorship to enthrone democracy, peace, and stability. Liberia would not be what it is today, and I won't be here called senator sitting before the TRC to give my account of the role I play. Before I go further, I would like to say that part of my hair, now I got a water and sewer area there that is now being used as a NBI office. And I got on the street, went all the way to the beach area, convent behind it, and I went to Coconut Plantation. That person who saved me, I won't call the name for security purpose, but the crippled woman saved me. The crippled woman saved me. I went to the house that night, and the key she used to uncuff me was the key that the country people normally use for the old type of valise. She used that to uncuff me, and then said to me, stay here until daybreak. And I said, if I stay here, all of you will be finished. Because Doe was on the radio announcing that wherever they will catch a rebel, whoever in that area will be finished. So I told her I won't stay here. Now, her brother was up country. Her brother was in the army, I think in 10th battalion, and he had his M16 A1 rocket launcher. The grenade launcher was in the house. And instead of coming out, I came out, took the M16, took the uniform, I dressed, and I came out. Because the soldiers and they were now recognizing each other. I made sure that I was never recognized. I made sure that I was one of those soldiers on the street there. So I came home all the way, and then I knocked at my door, my mother's door. She was up country. And my sister came to the window, who was sick because they thought I had been killed that afternoon. The soldiers of the AFF from the mansion thought certainly they've killed me. They came to my house and collected my vehicle and other things. So they opened the door and I went upstairs in the ceiling. The next morning, door was basically announced on the radio they would do house to house search. So the people in my mother's house said, look, if you stay here, we all will die. You better go your way. If you stay here and refuse to move, we will show you. So my house was not too far from there, and I just went to my house. That day I took 6 bottles of small gold medal to get drunk, little bit to get out, and the 6 bottles of gold medal could not make me drunk. So all I had to do was I needed prayer. So I just prayed and walked out, and I went to my own house, and there I was in the ceiling. In the morning, I asked my wife to open the front door, open the back door, open the windows, and open the main door of the house. So soldiers will come, where an important person that is wanted for treason or somebody that is alleged and is needed by government, wanted by government, is hiding will not be open like that. It should be in a concealed place. But I was in the room there under the bed. I'm in the ceiling. The room will be open, the door outside open, the door back open, the window open, everything open, and I'm there. And the soldiers came after the month, almost a month, because I stayed in Liberia after December, Christmas season like that. So I stayed there, and the soldiers came and told my wife, look, we know this man was not killed. We know he's brave. We know he's capable of coming back, regrouping. Your father is John Waki, Colonel John Waki. So your father is still with Doe, and this man you married John to John Rebel. So you better tell us what this man is. We are aware that you're telling the truth that he's not here. But if he does come here, let us know. Here is $500. So they gave my wife money to take care of the baby on the ground that if I came back, she should let them know. And I was right there hearing all they were saying. If a soldier had said, let's look under the bed, I would be finished by now. But I was right there. And I was not scared to shake. I didn't cough. And they left. When they left, I began to strategize how to leave Monrovia. At that time, the public works minister, I won't call his name, he had left for abroad for a foreign trip. And my uncle was driving for him in 1985. And the NDPL t-shirts, we sent some people, some sympathizers who were with NDPL. They came to my aid from Nimba. They gave me as many NDPL t-shirts, caps, and they brought it to me. And they said the minister was not in town. The driver brought a car to me, RL. And we wore the t-shirt that morning by 7 o'clock in the evening after a month in Monrovia. And put more drinks in the car. And we began to go as NDPL partisans. So every checkpoint we waved to them and told them, thank you, victory over the invading foes. So we got to Salala, the maximum gate. We got there, I was very hungry, and I saw the lady that was roasting plantain. And I had sat in the car, jammed up with the people. My leg was giving me problem. And I just took the chance. I said, Lord, I'm hungry and I'm going to buy something. Cover me up. And I got there and I was buying plantain, 4 plantain, roasted plantain. And the soldier was there and they didn't know who that was. I'm a member of the NDPL. I'm a partisan. And after all of that, I went away to the Cote d'Ivoire. Nobody knew who was in the car until I got to Ivory Coast border. And I threw the t-shirt, everything away. And I crossed into Ezra. In Ezra, we began to look for our colleagues who are scattered, who are run away from Liberia, especially Lieutenant Cooper Tier did not die during the crisis. He escaped and went to Ivory Coast. And so I sent people out to help locate where he was, and they did. They came and told me, and I went personally to visit him, and I told him, you did not run away, you retreated to stage another maximum battle. So let us close ranks. Let us join ranks. And so we began to mobilize. And we mobilized as men. Though we didn't have money, we didn't have any place to train the men, but we kept them together. I did my best to keep them together. Refugees spread all over the western coast of Cote d'Ivoire. We brought them together, and every Saturday we used to meet in my town. A very large number of people. And the news got to Liberia, and Moses Dupu came to join us. The first person who crossed over was Nicholas Podia. Podia came to join us. We received him. He brought some money, and because he was former vice head of state, he had traveled extensively. He knew many foreign lands. We decided to make him our leader since he could be the one to lead us for training. So we told him to be our leader and find a way for us to go to a foreign country to be trained. He accepted gladly. We all accepted. It didn't take long. Dropul also came. When Dropul came, he wanted to take leadership of the group. That was not possible because he didn't have money like us, and we wanted podium. So after spending a few time with us, he had to go to Nigeria, where he took refuge with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees in Lagos. So this podium stayed with us. We were in Zouanwe, in Cote d'Ivoire. We went to Danale, and finally to Abidjan, where we met Tony King. Tony King had a means of finding base because he was in contact with Blaise Compaoré. Because Blaise Compaoré married the wife, the former wife of the late A.B. Toba. So he was connected there very closely. But he didn't want to make the contact for her, though he knew we were very brave guys, and many in number. But he didn't want to help us because he was not in conversance and not in favor of social indigenes, grouping and say they want to overthrow. He needed an American Liberian leadership. And he told us that in fact your in-law will soon be coming. Charles Taylor, though the jail Taylor in America and though wanting to extradite him, we are trying to get him from America. We'll get Taylor from America. He married to your sister. All of you Nima people are your daughter. So will you accept Taylor when he comes? We said fine. He said when Taylor comes, then I will now open the door to lead you to places where you can quicker get training base and train and come and move Samedo. So we remained there and we're asking how Taylor was going to be free. He said, well, there was a diplomatic arrangement that was being carried on by a few American Liberians, not all of them per se, and with the so that was a connection between Taylor and this man. So after that, we remained in Libya for almost 9 months. We stayed so long, got no place to pass. So arrangements were made again by Taylor. This time he told us, I have contacted 1st Battalion, 6th Battalion, that is Bombing Hills and Sheffley, and they are all eager to receive our first batch of fighting men. And they will launch the attack in Monrovia while we launch from the border. In fact, the weapon to be used from the border side are already being dispatched on the Liberian side from Ivory Coast by way of Butro. So when you cross, the day you get ready to cross, we'll show you what the weapons are. Meanwhile, these guys are going to Monrovia. Not knowing, Taylor lied. He made no contact with Camp Sheffley. He made no contact with Bombing Hills. Those guys he sent forward were the guys that did not like him, were the guys who opposed him, who said they did not want Taylor because he was self-centered, that he was interested in using the Guill and Manon people to overthrow the regime of Doe, to take power by force and remain as a leader indefinitely until death. So those guys were the ones he sent to Monrovia, and they were arrested in Monrovia, televised, and today is history. Where they are, we cannot say. So for us who left behind, Taylor told us, I was a planning and training officer. He told us, and William Obe was a battlefield commander. He led us to the border that early morning and said, cross on a bamboo raft and cross there on the Liberian side, you will see guns. And some crossed and began to look for the guns. They couldn't find. They went all the way on the road looking for the guns, and then we crossed. There were absolutely no guns. Taylor lied. He made our lives vulnerable. Had the AFL soldier been there that day, this would be all history. So some of the soldiers who went looking for the guns ahead on the road returned to the riverside and said they were not going because there were no guns. And when they crossed to go to Taylor, to where he was standing when we crossed, Taylor had gone back to an unknown destination, either to Zouanwe or to Burkina. Where he was, we didn't know. So I said, for me, I am not going back. Because I don't see Taylor being a good leader. I don't see Taylor being a good leader. I see Taylor being so oppressive. Taylor was a scary man. A man who's scared cannot lead this country. And he depended his administration over there on lies, on whatever he was told. and he trusted liars and made good snapper hit my guns and split it in half and cut my finger. But I used this finger to write a letter to Charles Taylor and give it to Target 1T and a group of commandos that I thought I could trust. And I told them when Taylor the liar crossed the river to come inspect the facilities, all the what we have captured, he should be executed at the border point. I ordered Taylor immediate execution at border point if he had crossed, because he lied to us, he made our lives vulnerable, and he was self-centered. I could not work with him, because in Libya I asked him, look, as a planning officer, training officer, when we take power, what do we do? Do we take power and relinquish it in the democratic elections, or do we take power and seize and hold power? And he said, he answered me by asking me questions. He answered us by asking more questions. We are in Libya. Nassau, we say, yes, sir. Since Gaddafi took over 1969 from his uncle, King Idris, has he turned power over? We said, no, sir. He said, President Iyadima, when he took over as a sergeant, himself and Colonel Gaddafi, they were sergeants. And when he took over, he hasn't turned power over. Iyadima himself, has he turned power over? We say, no, sir. He said, okay, why should we take power and hand power? He said, look, the ACLDL, he said a group of Liberians in America, he called names. He called Harry Greaves. He called many names. He said, these people, on the other hand, are giving us support, financial support. But they want me and you to go and sacrifice our lives. You get injured in battle, or you get killed in battle, then we'll come and give them. He said to us, monkey will not work and bamboo draw. So we are not going to give power to any other Liberian except for us. We will take power and hold power until death. Then he said to us again, he said, gentlemen, I know that a lot of you, that was before coming to Liberia to evade. He said, I know a lot of you don't like me, but you see, you have a problem on hand. I brought you for training, and we're going to move the Samedo man. I think bringing you here alone and training you alone, you should forgive me for whatever you have in your mind against me. And I want to tell you this story. Taylor said, he said in Ethiopia, when Mengistu Haile Mariam and a group of officers overthrew Haile Selassie, he killed all of them. There was a state program to which all of them were to attend, and all the provisional ruling council people gathered there waiting their commander-in-chief to arrive. He instead sent a group of armed men, and they massacred those provisional ruling council men. I don't know what he really meant when he said this story, but he later said to us that it's not going to happen to you. I'm not going to do it to you. But then why did you say the story? But I later got to know in later years that he committed the brave men in combat always to die in war. And whenever you are a strong man who capture so many targets, he will continue sending you to more targets to die there. He never trusted strong combatants. He always isolated them. He would prefer the late Azem Musa, who would kill Debare and bring him closer. He would prefer Benjamin Yuten, who would lie on people, like that. Those are the people he wanted. So, because of all of these things, I said I won't work with Taylor. So when Taylor crossed the border, you'll get rid of him. But they never got rid of him. They instead told Taylor the story, the secret. So Taylor did not cross to Liberia when I was at the border point. He remained far away. The only place he crossed was from Africa to Bopley. At that time, I had already come so far in Tapley and moving on to Monrovia. So many places I captured and left. My objective was not to capture, seize and hold. My objective was Monrovia. Our objective was Monrovia. And you say you cannot move men of various ideas, various behavior characters into combat with all drawing all guidelines. I drew out guidelines, that is SOP, to govern the activities of our men in combat. If you rape, it's execution. Rape itself is capital crime. And you wouldn't want your daughter to be raped, so don't rape anybody's child. So if you believe life is sweet, avoid raping. If you break people's homes to steal, then you are as good as a man we are going to fight. Then you face the penalty. So these are some of the rules we had. Don't break banks. If you break banks, you destroy the economy. Then it's useless going to fight Samedo. So we got all of these guidelines. And when you enter town, don't take people catters. Don't take people catters. Don't force women to sleep with them. I know during the situation like that, a lot of them will want you. So, I mean, those who come voluntarily, out of fear for their own mind, is up to them, but don't force them. So we drew our guidelines to govern our men in combat. I taught the UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice in Libya, for the 2 years we were there, and I taught my Special Forces commandos even when I broke away. So I told them, here is that, choose it by doing all of these above, and choose life by avoiding the above. So that was the first thing I did. That is to have command and control. I had to put these guidelines in place. And the men and women of the Independent National Patriotic Front and their counterparts were cutting the power saw. They were using the power saw to cut the trees that were put on the road to block the tanks from coming to town. And I said, this is the war that the Lord talked about. So I put sufficient men in the bush with 33 GMG, Russian made. And I told them not to shoot, that I was in town, and that when fire is initiated from in town, they should open fire. So the point man came in town, he didn't see anybody, another platoon came, they didn't see anybody, another platoon came, the fourth platoon came, the last platoon, the war tank came. When the war tank came, we opened fire on RPG on the war tank, blow it up, then the battle started. So those were the tanks you saw. So we captured the tanks, and war is not good. When we saw the bodies, we saw many of our colleagues together with whom we had lived with in Liberia, in Camp Shefflin, in Camp Todi. But because of war protecting somebody's power, we had to be faced with that situation, combating each other. Even at a certain point in Palala, we ambushed a jeep. When we went to inspect the body, it was John Wakrekru and Arthur Yanimbo. I think the brother or uncle or father of the Isaac Yanimbo. Had I known who were in that jeep, I would not have ordered to fire. Because Krekru was good to me when we were in the army. He was a very quiet man. There were times we went to him like knock out to borrow money. He would say, okay, look, Johnson, take this money. Don't pay any interest, take. So I would not have been that evil to kill this man. But it was as well, and he was ambushed unexpectedly. We don't know what was there. And so that's what happened. So war is not good. So we came to Monrovia all the way. We got to Palala, from Palala where we ambushed this jeep I'm talking about. We passed in the bush to Davistown, not very far from Banga, because Banga were heavily concentrated with the AFL troops. Heavily concentrated with deadly weapons. And Taylor was afraid to take Banga because the news we were hearing, Banga was tough. We sent people on reconnaissance. They came back. They said Banga is tough. And I said, okay. So what we did was, the focus of the AFL at the time was on Nimba. When any bush moves from Nimba side of fire, everybody was focused. So the only friendly area was from Banga to Phoebe area and to Monrovia. So cars were moving freely from Banga to Monrovia freely. So we passed through Davistown, we all the way came in the bush and got to Phoebe in the morning, and then took a route to the barracks. So the barrack was attacked at 5:30 in the morning. We attacked the barrack 5:30 in the morning, imploring every organic weapon we needed to quickly seize that barracks. So we seized the barracks within a space of 40 minutes. And so when the soldiers in Banga City heard the sporadic fires, and sporadic, suppressive and sustained fire in the barracks, they just gave up and said, well, our own colleagues have joined the rebels, so no way now. So it became foot happy body. Those that were in town were under attack by us, the barrack under attack, so many people had to take out their clothes, their uniform, and fled to either Guinea or wherever they went. So that's how Banga fell. When Banga fell, we collected as many rounds of explosives we needed, and then remove the 106, 4.2, 105 Awusas that were there. We remove the pin, and then set the ammo drum on fire with the 106 rounds. When those brokers were firing, You could hear it in Kakatan. So the AFL thought say the guns we brought were too sophisticated that they could not stand. People began to run away. And then with all that, there were many soldiers from the AFL contingent that were prepared to die for the state because they are under obligation, constitutional order to defend. And they were defending well. But what happened that I felt was a mistake on part of the junta leader was that in his bid to protect his power, he ordered that all battalions should leave the country and congregate in Monrovia. So battalions moved from all over and moved from Monrovia, leaving many battalions very empty. So that's how they were pressed to the wall. So we took Banga and passed by way of the bush. There were many times we left the road because fighting 2 forces was not a small thing to do. It was very, very tough indeed. So at times, in order to be at ease, to rest and relax, we would use compass to make our own path in the bush and leave Taylor and those people to fight. Then we pass. And we did all of that until we came to the White Plains. We came to Johnsonville, of course. Johnsonville, we tell you, we gave them food. We secured the place. We visited Finda from there. We promised them food. In fact, at Finda, I will tell you a story. There were many people in jail. Many people were in jail, were imprisoned there by Taylor forces upon Taylor's order. And they were to kill them that afternoon when we hit the place and took them by surprise. You know, commando launches a surprise attack. And we did that successfully and captured Finda and broke the jail. You know, among those that were freed from the jail, you know who was there? Sekou Damate Kone. God used me to free Sekou Damate Kone, a Madingo man, so that many years from that day, he also could be used to flush out the dictator Charles Taylor, to bring me home. I ended up being for led under the commandership of the great men, Damate, the Joe Wale, the Jackson Doe, the Ase Yanigbo, the Charles, this man who had a problem with Charles Benny, all these great men. It will not be possible for you people to sit here today. Not possible. It will not be possible for me to come home to partake in the elections, to be called a senior senator. Even when the United Party dropped me by way of crook in Secretariat, my hometown, and declared to the world that Nimba County had rejected Prince Johnson, Nimba County came out in the numbers to disprove those lies. Nimba County came out and gave me the higher vote in the Republic of Liberia, making me the senior. And those who engineer my fall in Secretariat, some of them become junior today. Those who didn't want to see me called honorable, I'm honorable. By the grace of God, I am who I am. And today, the peace that has been made possible by those who pick up the guns, those great revolutionaries, I think we should give credit to them. The politicians should stop calling us names, killers. After all, as a son of Nimba, a Liberian and a revolutionary, I didn't just come here shooting gun. I didn't just come here fighting. My people, Liberians, my people, Nimbanians, were under siege. I fought. I had to fight. We were pushed to the wall. What we did, we were prepared to do. When you have your wife, you always beat her every day. One day will slap you. Even if she's not able to beat you, she will resist. You know the story of 300 babies, 300 children, babies, that were taken from their mother's bosom in Nimba and brought here and paraded all over the streets of Monrovia, and eventually ended in dumping them alive in a well. They failed the well, the Dole regime. The government are supposed to protect lives and properties of the people, became the killers of the people. I could not stand to see my people be wiped away. When President Dole was on the radio telling the world Nimba people should leave their home to go where? I will kill them all, to include their children. No, we want to survive. We have the right to live. The Constitution of Liberia gave us the right to live and gave you the right to defend us, to protect us, to secure us. There was a state of anarchy created by Dole regime, and there was no choice left but to speak the same language of the bazookas. We were pushed to the wall. There were times in Liberia, there were times in Monrovia, you could see headless bodies, body one side, the hair one side, headless bodies of Nimbanians. The people of Nimba could not speak their own dialects, be it Mana or Gyo. Whenever they went to rent a house, are you Gyo? Yeah, no place for you. Because wherever Gyo and Mana resided in Monrovia, they were the target. We were miserable. Our people were led to the slaughterhouse like chickens and slaughtered. I had to come in the defense. Nimba County, our home, were under siege, were under military occupation. We had to flush them out of Nimba and pursue in the capital. That's what we did. And we came to Monrovia. We took over Cardway. I used Cardway as a base to attack Monrovia. Monrovia was very tough, but we managed to take over. To cross those two bridges, you had to be tactical. We lost men. We lost great men. And may their soul rest in peace. The politicians who fomented the trouble, who fooled Dole, who misled Dole, they fled the country. They could not come back until we brought them. Today, they call us names. Today, they talk about military tribunal to be established in Monrovia. They call us perpetrators. Who are the perpetrators? The gun-toting men or the politician with the cash who made the base possible and the training? Who are the perpetrators? So they should stop calling people names. When Joe Wally was speaking, I admired Joe Wally. He made some salient points. The war in Africa has taken so many of our brothers, of our children, from here on all sides, on that side. You are living here on town bomb. I summoned the defense minister of Liberia to my office. I'm the chair of National Defense Senate Committee. And I told him, we are Yakubas. In here you call Gyo. We are in touch with our people in Africa. Our people are there. The different factions have different Liberians. You have the first group of people here you have dismissed, or you have retired, or you have dancers, and you're not catering to them. Job creation is very important after war. Calling names, ugly names attached to combatants who fought to defend you, to bring peace, will not help us. Encourage investors to come. Open the door for more employment. No employment is taking place. What we see in every ministry of downsizing, the intelligent way of sacking people to replace them with their own people from the diaspora. That should stop. Because the people who are going to Ivory Coast, if it is true, from the intelligence we receive, they are watching what is happening here. They are hearing what is happening here. They are in touch with their colleagues. The new army we are forming to defend this country know that there was an army in place that defended the country so many hundred years. The way you will treat them, they will think you will treat that way too. What you do to the old army, they will think too, maybe you will do it to them. You got to be careful what you do. Job creation is most essential. Otherwise, poverty alleviation or poverty eradication is a mockery. It doesn't go to the poverty eradication. It's not only paving roads. It's not paving roads. It's creating jobs. And the people can get 3 meals a day to eat. No problem. But many politicians, bad politicians, they believe that when they come back there are suffering, they now war, they shoe finish. When they got nothing to do, then they weak, then they tired. No. A hungry man is an angry man. And an angry man will disturb you. We don't want disturbance, so we need to work. When there was petrol shortage or hike in price, I talked to Harold Greaves. Harold Greaves, who brought my first cousin to Liberia, General Thomas Kwamba. Harold Greaves, who made Kwamba to leave his home in the United States and brought him and died and left his family suffering. He's not doing anything to help the family back there. He is self-centered. I went to him and said, look, Mr. Greaves, I am capable from Kuwait to bring 5 million metric tons of gasoline every month. If I bring the price out of my business, I want to help. I want to help so that I can equally help the government as I did in the past. I donated drugs when I came from Brussels. I did that. But these people don't want you to get money. They want you to suffer, and they come and enjoy our sweat. It's very bad. So you, the TRC, tell authority they're doing good. The old lady is doing very fine. But the crooks then that are around, they better do better. The government is moving on good footing, but they should teach, they should bring good idea on board. The president is old, is getting much older, and will not want to leave bad legacy. I am of the convention, she will leave positive legacy. But those old crooks, let me tell you for example, how will you be ex-president of Liberia or interim president or ex-president, then you come again to become chairman of Good Governance Commission? Which Good Governance Commission? When you are the head of state or the interim. You printed money signed by Barronta, and that money Barronta was not confirmed by the legislature. If a man is nominated and not confirmed, how does he sign a legal tender note? All of these things. Then they come back and say with all that Liberia cannot run. So they begin to recycle. Well, if you brought back that the Amos Sawyer, Good Governance Commission, bring back Sangawaro, you former head of state too. Bring back Mose Blah, former head of state too. Ruth Berry cannot be brought because she's not well. Why you pick and choose? So we came and told Monrovia. So we took over Monrovia. When we took over Monrovia, a few days after taking over Monrovia, I was contacted by the diplomatic institution, and we discussed, and I was informed that Samuel Doe wanted to enter a truce with me. And I was also asked if I wanted to see the ambassador of that country I'm talking about, which I will not name. And I consented, and I met the ambassador, and we discussed what was discussed had to do with peace, what was discussed had to do with supporting the ECOWAS peace initiative. And I dearly committed myself to it, and I said I would not violate the ECOWAS peace plan for Liberia, I will support it. And so I left the embassy, and I was given a Motorola. The reason I was given a Motorola to try to control, they gave me Motorola, they gave Taylor Motorola, they gave Doe Motorola, but in the interim, they had interest in installing Taylor as president. They were interested in Taylor, and they only gave a Motorola to monitor me and monitor Doe, but their interest was Charles Taylor. And what I was told that I comply with also was that when I took my missile on the Ducal Hill and pointed to the Banshee and BDC to fire, I was told that many civilians are taking refuge there and I shouldn't shoot, it will be considered massacre or genocide. So I complied with that, I didn't do it. So Taylor too was almost at the university, we were at Ducal, we were at the football field, Busekwada. None of us could go on the ground that the place was overcrowded with civilians. And entering that mansion would be deadly. It would cause the death of so many civilians and children. And we shouldn't do that, so all of us obey. It was not out of weakness. Because if we could fight this battle from the border of Ivory Coast to Monrovia, who else could stop you? Everything you employ in the combat, you could employ it to enter, even if it meant bombardment. But we didn't do it, we had to consider human lives. So within that period, having contacted me, Thompson came. Because I was told also that once Sally Thompson was going to come to me. So Sally Thompson came to me and saw the idea of a truce with Doe as proposed by the embassy. And I agree. I sincerely agree. And we met in Mother Douglas Church. And we discussed. And I told Thompson, well, go and tell Samedo I agree. He went to the mansion and they discussed there, and they were very happy because he was engulfed on all sides. And the next day, Thompson came to me and told me to draft the peace, the truce. And I said, you drop it. He drafted it. I amended it. And then he took it to Do to see. And he brought it. But in that agreement, we agreed to join forces to fight ECOMO. Whether I was really in position to fight ECOMO that I made to come here or not, well, that was no business to determine that. Whether I who brought August 24, 1990, the peacekeeping force for all over Africa, whether I will sign paper with Do to fight peacekeeping force, then it was her business to determine whether I will be truthful to that truth or not truthful. And we agreed that all the charges leveled against me when I fled the country for treason should be dropped. And many things we discussed of mutual understanding. And Do okayed it in the final draft, he okayed it. It was finally tapped and brought to me. And we took it to ECOMO headquarters and gave it to them. The place where it was mentioned that we should join forces to fight ECOMO, the ECOMO saw that in the agreement. And when Sally Thompson left, they called me. They said they're coming to see me. They said, is it true that you and those joined to fight on your side here? I say, that what we signed. But in reality, I cannot fight you. Because if, your military might itself is one thing. And then if I want to go to any African country, it will not be possible if I join you to kill, the peacekeepers. So I said, that is not going to work with me. So you trust me, you depend on me. They were still afraid. So that truce was signed. And in the truce, we mentioned that whenever a ranking officer from those side wanted to visit me, I should be notified. And the same with my group too. He should be notified. And they'll give me more ammunitions in our bid to fight ECOMO. I requested for more ammunitions. And I gave him 500 bags of rice. Because the soldier he needed food. And so there was a schedule according to the agreement for me to visit BDC. So I visited BDC. That was the first time face to face we met after signing the truce. Where he said that the ECOMO was a CIA creation. And that he's being placed under attack because the CIA don't like development in Liberia. They like the American Liberian to build houses, to buy houses abroad with a country people money to steal and carry abroad. But he though was taking ministry out of other government homes and making development. They didn't like that. So they want to kill him. And he said to me, I did not stay here to fight you. I stay here to say no to American Liberian rule. Chancellor. That's why I stay here. Among many things we agreed on. Then I left. And another meeting was scheduled September 6, between September 5 or 6. This time to the mansion. As time was approaching for my second visit to the mansion, I got word from Sally Thompson. Don't forget that Sally Thompson was a mediator. And he was not prepared to agree with many things that others were telling to continue fight. He was prepared for real peace. So I got word from Sally Thompson that don't come to the mansion. There is a plot to open a corridor from the SDA church, when you enter Busekwara, you claim the information service, you go there. To the mansion, you will not see door where you're supposed to meet him. Immediately they will open fire on you there, and you will not come back Busekwara because it will be suppressive fire. I was not in the meeting. Whether this is true, not true, the first law of nature being self-preservation, I had to be serious. So I said, oh, Thompson, this is, yeah, don't call my name. And since that time is today, I'm calling the name. Because at True Commission, we are present. And all along, though they not know. So the expecting though decided to visit the port. Because when the peacekeepers came, they failed to pay visit to him. They paid to visit though. They failed to pay courtesy call. So those say, but I'm the commander-in-chief. And that's our ability. And these people say they were coming here to help me, to bring peace. How come they be here over 1 week, 2 weeks? They don't know who they call the town owner or the town chief. And they sit down there in your area. They don't want to come to pay me courtesy call. That year, a lawyer, they came to move me. Okay, I will go, one day I will go there and deal with these people. So Samuel Doe visit to the port was intended to question ECOMO as to why they came and failed to pay courtesy call, whether they did not recognize him as a head of state. That was a visit to the port. I will come to that. So my visit to the mansion, I have been told that there was a plot to open corridor for me to pass and then close me up. I don't know how possible that could have been, because I have men well equipped, tactically inclined, brave, strong and intelligent commandos who were willing to die for this country, to die for their leader. And wherever I move well prepared. So that would have been disastrous, because to fight in your own house is different from fighting in my house. If you invite me and fight me, then that's the end. Because you did not come into the border, why would you come in Monrovia? With all the manpower, all those heavy crew guys that were in Newtown, West Point, Clarendon, all were joining me. I had a strong, muscular guy. The AFL too came to me in 1,000, because that's my mother unit. That's my mother unit. I congratulate them for defending this nation up to the last with their blood, but they are no longer recognized. And so I abandoned my mission to the mansion. I stayed on my side. And Samuel Doe came that morning. He came, according to him, when he was before me being questioned, he said he sent Sally Thompson to tell me that he was coming to see me, in keeping with the truth. But Sally Thompson already had made a deal with the peacekeeping force to take out the country via my territory. So he was not in any more position anymore to come be a messenger. So when Sally Thompson came to tell me, he did not tell me, he went straight to the peacekeeping force to take refuge. So while I was thinking that Doe intruded, that he violated the truce that we signed, Doe had sent Thompson to let me know that he was coming. But I didn't know. And I was at the Island Clinic visiting the civilians that were hit by missiles sent by Charles Taylor or missiles sent by Doe. I opened that clinic. I helped Dr. Amici with more drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, given me by Ita Pharmacy. And we were paying the doctors there in the Redemption Hospital. We provided military camp beds. We gave food, pharmaceutical drugs. Many clinics in town, Dr. Cassettes clinics. The Korean man that was on Kelly Street, forgotten his name, he's no longer here. We help people a lot. But we cannot say we were Holy Spirit or we clean people. But we did a lot to help. And so they all came to the port. And our soldiers that were stationed at the port singed at me and said, "Dode is here." And he said, "But speak to this commanding officer." And I spoke to the commanding officer from another African country whose name I cannot call. Not Quino, of course not. And he said, "Dode is here. Are you aware?" I said, "No, I'm not aware." So I said, "But then why did you come to my territory and broke the truce without telling me?" So I'm coming. I sent for more reinforcement from my base. And they joined me. We got to the port. We didn't get to the port shooting, but we saw Sam Blade. Sam Blade, I think it was a captain or colonel in Wawedo. I knew him many years back. He was assigned to the mansion. Doe was upstairs and Sam Blade was sitting in the car downstairs. And I asked him, "Sam, why did you people come here and you didn't tell me? Are you not aware that we signed truce? Are you not aware that we signed truce?" He said, "Truce with rebel cannot hold." Sitting in his car, I said, "Get up and give me courtesy." He said, "To whom?" I said, "Okay, you disarm this man here." Same hard gun. Then he ordered his people to take my gun from me. In that space of time, I ordered two groups. One to deal with the group that were downstairs and one to go upstairs and deal with the group that were upstairs. Order all the peacekeeping forces there, their commanders, to come down, put their hands on their heads and march inside the ship. From Quino to all the officers, get on board your ship. And that's what happened. They got on board their ship and fighting started. I must say in this public manner that the peacekeeping force had the military capability. It's going to 1 o'clock.
You want some water?
No, then. No, forget, I bring my water. Your TRC people are going to be careful. My water over there.
Please keep this down. Hello, officer. Please, could you take care of the people up there?
So the fighting started, and President Doe was wounded in the leg, and Harrison Pennon and others were killed in the battle. And Doe was taken to my base to face questions. By this time, the interim government of national unity has already been organized in the Gambia. Doe was captured September 9. The interim government was put.
So let me say thank you ever so much for listening. So this is a clear indication that what General Kofi Zah said and what Prince Johnson himself said all match. Kofi said that it was someone who bullet the late president in his legs. And that was the same statement that Prince Johnson said. Folks, all we can say is that let us unite, let bygone be bygone, let us forget about the past, let us concentrate on the present. It happens. The late president, he did wrong in some places. In some places, the late Prince Johnson, he also did wrong. But two wrongs cannot make a right. All those that fought the war, they fought the war because of something. You ask if you were to bring Alhaji, the late Alhaji G.V. Nkrumah, you will say because people were marginalized. If you were to bring Prince Johnson, he will tell you the same thing. But at least his own, it was seen vividly. It was not just only seen, it was also recorded. So no one can be able to blame Prince Johnson here. No one can be able to blame Prince Johnson. Let bygone be bygone. Let us concentrate on the present in order for us to be able to move our country forward. With that I said, I will not be taking calls because I don't have time. I will not be taking calls. So bye-bye for now. See you when I see you.